We're here with Ronda Rousey, the UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion, will be headlining UFC 157 on February 23rd at the Honda Center in Anaheim. What does that mean to you to be fighting in the main event and in Anaheim, which is so close to where you live?
It's kind of like a dream come true, really. I mean, when I first started doing this, I wanted to be, I didn't want to just be the best in the world. I wanted to be the best in the world on the biggest stage in the world, and to have it in my own backyard is just a plus. So it's a product of many years of very hard work, and I still have much more work to do, but it's very encouraging to see progress happening so quickly.
Now, we'll get to one controversial question, and one of Dan Henderson's coaches said you don't deserve to be in the main event. He feels like maybe his guy, Lyoto Machida, should be the main event. Your thoughts?
Well, coming from Dan Henderson's camp is kind of surprising, because in his last fight against Shogun, he was dominating in the early rounds, was fading towards the end. He's better in the early rounds just in general, and he's had a really long, amazing career. But I mean, if you came towards the end of the career, you'd probably want as few 5-round wars as possible, and it just seemed like an extremely unintelligent thing to say.
All right, fair enough. Now, you were up in Seattle for the UFC on Fox card, and you were presented as the first UFC Women's Champion. You got your belt. But let's backtrack. First, you drove cross country. Have you ever done a cross country drive before?
Yes, two.
You have?
Yeah, when I was supposed to, when I was trying to come back to judo, at the end of 2009, I drove my car from LA down through the south and then up to Boston, and then after I came back from Japan and all that stuff, and then, nothing worked out, then I had to fly to Boston and drive my car through the middle of the country and try to get back in time to take my GED. But my cousin was supposed to help me with the second half of the drive, but she bailed on me, so I did the whole drive on my own. I got there too late, only took the second half of the GED test, and then when I went to go and try to take the first half, they said that they lost the half that I took, so I took the whole thing all over again. And I like driving though.
Now, I assume this drive was, who were your passengers and how was the trip?
It was me, my friend Wetzel, and Marina, Marina is a very old friend and teammate of mine. She's moving to LA to start training MMA with me, and she's 2-0 right now, both first round armbar finishes, because that's my girl. And we did it OG style, dude. We didn't stop once. We didn't we slept. We took turns sleeping in the back, but we didn't stay anywhere. So we went from pretty much from Albany to Seattle in like 48 hours.
Now you get there, and the morning of the press conference, you're told, "Oh yeah, by the way, you got to show up and you're gonna get your belt."
I know, and I was just right off a road trip, and I was like, "Dude, I've been eating beef jerky for like 2 days. Like I look like a chipmunk." And then they put me on a platform, so then they're shooting me at a low angle. I'm like, I'm super chipmunk right now. Like I just feel how big my cheeks were, And I was just like, I just put it on in my cheeks. It's just where it goes. And like Edmund, my coach, will grab me by the cheeks and we go like this, like, you weigh 144 today. Like, cheek test, damn it. And so that was what I was thinking about. And then I was like, I don't have an outfit. So then I'm like, I ran and tried to find a thing last minute, and it was a mad scramble, because first I thought that they were gonna do it, was it Toronto or Minneapolis that was first? I don't know. I went to Toronto and I thought that they're gonna announce it, and then it all fell through and I was bummed. And then they're like, no, Minneapolis. And then I went to Minneapolis and I was like, all right, they're gonna announce it, and then it all fell through and it didn't happen. I'm like, no. And then when it finally did happen, they didn't even tell me. They sprung it on me that morning. So it was cool. It was a cool surprise that I guess they weren't even gonna do it at the press conference. They're gonna do it some other time, but because I just got to Seattle so fast, they're like, let's do it at the press conference. And I think that's why it was a last minute thing. So it was cool that it all happened like that. It just happens organically like everything else. Just let it happen.
That belt looks heavy. How much heavier is it than your Strikeforce belt?
You know what? When I did get home, we were like, let's see. We took them out. We were like going like this. Like, what do you think? What do you think? And the Strikeforce belt is more colorful, but the UFC belt is heavier.
And a little sweeter.